cooler. She did the best she could. Had this used, beat up old giant friggin' car. Now old cars were big. It was a pimp's car. She bought a used pimp's car. It was fluorescent green. Oh, what the hell was the name of that car? I can't even remember. Like, oh, what was it called? It was a weird car. There weren't a lot of them out there. And it had the Lamaze roof. Had a white Lamaze roof. You know what a Lamaze roof is? It's like half vinyl. And then it has the little scroll thing with the little oval window in the side. Here's my mom driving this car with like 5 screaming little kids in the back seat. It's hysterical. Anyways, poor thing. She drove me to see the college of my choice, which was Adelphi University on Long Island, and we lived in New Jersey. Well, first of all, my mother never really drove anywhere outside of town, so here she's trying to figure out with maps in those days how we're going to get to Adelphi University, and we went the wrong way. Instead of going the Long Island way, we went through friggin' Bronx and Brooklyn and everything else to get there. Here's my mother driving this pimp car, you know. But anyways, so we're making our way there, and she doesn't know where she's going, and you have to get on like the Long Island Expressway, and so that's where my analogy comes in. The vehicle's too damn big to get on the expressway. There's the entrance ramp, but you can't go up the entrance ramp because you're too big. So you're going to have to shave off a carbon. And when you shave off that carbon, you're breaking a bond, right? And when you break that bond, what happens? Electrons come out and hydrogens come out. Therefore, this is an oxidation. Even the transitional step is an oxidation. It's also a decarboxylation because you're going to remove that carbon and end up with a 2-carbon compound. So because you're removing that carbon, it's also a decarboxylation. That's probably already too much information. Don't really need to know that. But it's okay. Okay, you now have this smaller vehicle you can fit in the entrance ramp. This little vehicle is called acetyl. It's just a little organic molecule. And what carries little organic molecules? Coenzyme A. So, here's my mother trying to get on the LIE, doesn't know the way in there, but there's a cop over there. So she toots her horn and gets his attention, and he comes over in his car, and he's like, what the hell's the matter with you, lady? Don't you know how to drive? She's like, no, sir, I don't. I've never been out of Chatham, New Jersey before, and I got to take my kid to college. So he's like, well, follow me. I'll lead you onto the expressway, and when I dump you on the expressway, once you're on, I'm getting off the very next exit, so don't follow me, but just follow me onto the expressway. And that's what acetyl-CoA does. So at this point, acetyl-CoA, coenzyme A, not acetyl-CoA, coenzyme A, he's the traffic cop. He comes in, and acetyl picks it up, right? And acetyl becomes acetyl-CoA. Just temporarily, she's following him. But once she gets into the Krebs cycle, guess what? He's going to leave now. He's got to go back to the beat, do his job. And what you're left with is, I didn't bring my props today. You're left with a, so I kind of did this little sloppy. Let's see here. So, let's do it this way. Acetyl becomes acetyl-CoA. How about that? I'm just trying to make it clear. And usually I bring notes that I wrote it down so I can just copy without thinking, but I didn't bring them today because it gets very scattered. All right, this becomes acetyl-CoA because CoA comes in, helps her find how to get on. CoA leaves because he's got more work to do. And what happened over here is This compound, oxaloacetic acid, is a 4-carbon molecule. Don't take the picture yet because it's going to be a big
I'm
thing.
not.
Yeah, okay. So this 4-carbon molecule is the end product of Krebs cycle, and it's also the starter because it's a cycle, right? So oxaloacetic acid has to bind with the acetyl. Acetyl can't do it by itself because she couldn't find the expressway. She's got to merge with the other traffic, see? So what you end up with over here, CoA comes out and the acetyl gets merged with the traffic. So over here you have a 6-carbon compound. And this 6-carbon compound is called citric acid, and that's why it's called Krebs citric acid cycle. Because the first thing that you get is citric acid. Right? So, too big to get on the expressway, shave off a carbon. She can fit up the entry ramp, doesn't know how to do it. Cop leads her. When she's on the expressway, he leaves and she merges with the rest of the traffic. Got it? Colton's like, I don't remember learning it that way. Okay, so that's CoA. It looked like a 6. That's coenzyme A. Coenzyme A actually temporarily binds to the little acetyl molecule, little organic molecule, comes from vitamins, derived from vitamins that you take on your vitamin box. Vitamin A, D, E, whatever, right? And there you go. Okay, the whole rest of your Krebs cycle, and I don't like that, that's kind of messy too, let's fix that. Oh, that's messy too. Okay, the whole rest of the Krebs cycle is literally getting back to this. You want to break down your pyruvate. In order to break it down, you feed it into the Krebs cycle. And the Krebs cycle will systematically break bonds. And eventually, you have to end up back at oxaloacetic acid. So this gets removed, so you have some decarboxylations. And you have some oxidations, right? So every time you break bonds, let me put them back and put a little red mark in it. Every time you break bonds, the oxidations, what's going to happen? E's are going to come out, H's are going to come out.
I have a question, sorry.
Yes.
When is the transition step end?
What does the what?
When does the transition step end?
The transition step?
Yes, when does it end?
Right here. This is the transition step.
Okay. Okay, got it.
But CoA also kind of then helps. So you have the transition and then CoA guides it into the Krebs cycle. Okay. All right, first of all, what happened? When we added the acetyl to oxaloacetic acid, we got a 6-carbon compound. That's kind of almost like restoring your glucose, isn't it? Because your glucose was a 6-carbon compound, right? And we fed in only one pyruvate. We already broke one bond off. We got one more bond we can break, and we actually end up breaking 2 bonds. So they think that, evolutionarily speaking, organisms evolved this mechanism to actually get more energy out of the glucose than you would if you just broke the original 5 bonds. You actually end up getting an extra bond or 2 in the process to break. But don't worry about that, I won't ask about it on test. So essentially, when you break this carbon off and break that carbon off, you're left with a 4-carbon compound. It actually goes through a lot of rigmarole here. And in this rigmarole, you actually get another ATP per pyruvate. So you actually get 2 ATP here. but we're not gonna consider them, we're gonna lump them all together at the next step. So you get E's and H's, and I'll just put it in parentheses, you actually get, well, we'll put it this way, 1 ATP per pyruvate, or per turn of the cycle. So, well, I'm showing you 1 pyruvate, but it's gonna happen twice, because I have 2 pyruvates. So if each turn gives me 1 ATP, I actually get 2 ATP from the Krebs cycle. Well, we won't go into all the fumaric acid steps and all that crap, because you don't need to know that. Alrighty, we're not done yet. It's the third step. Step 3. This is your chemiosmosis step. It's called, I call it anyway, I call it oxidative phosphorylation. And it occurs in the membrane at the electron transport chain.
And where does the Krebs cycle occur?
We'll come back to that in a minute, don't let me forget. Right, Colton. Do you guys go by electron transport chain or electron transport system? Chain, you do use chain. Okay, let's go back because I forgot to mention that. The Krebs cycle, I'll put a big Krebs here. Krebs cycle happens for bacteria in the cytoplasm. But for your eukaryotes, it happens in the mitochondria.